Famous Five is a series of children's adventure novels and short stories written by English author Enid Blyton. The first book, Five on a Treasure Island, was published in 1942. The books feature Julian, Dick, Anne, not forgetting tomboy George, and her beloved dog Timmy. There's a shipwreck off Kirin Island, but where is the treasure? The famous five are on the trail, looking for clues, but they are not alone. Someone else has got the same idea. Time is running out for the famous five. And who will follow the clues and get to the treasure first? We have Anhad with us today, who's going to help us discover this treasure. Welcome, Anhad.
Hi, my name is Anhad Singh Bhagi. I love to play alone or with friends and read. I have read the complete series of Famous Five books and Secret Seven. I like Enid Blyton the most as an author. I have also written a few stories on adventure. My first story is titled The Library. I am 8 years old.
Thank you for introducing yourself. Okay, so the famous five are defined by one main characteristic each. I think Julian is kind of level-headed, Dick is good-natured, George is quite a hothead. So they are all different. But what do you think about all of them as characters?
I would like to start with Julian and end with Timothy. Julian is the eldest out of all the famous five siblings. In the first book, he is 12 years old. Julian is great at reading maps and is kind and fair because he gives every person a chance in all adventures. Now about George. George is hot-headed and is very boyish. George's real name is Georgina, but George never wanted to be a girl, so her parents and her siblings call her George. Timothy is George's dog. Now over to Anne. She is 8 years old in the first book. She is very girly, loves her soft toys, pretty dresses, and loves to play with all her siblings. Dick is 11 years old in Famous Five on a Treasure Island. Dick is a brave boy. One time in Five on a Treasure Island, he climbed down the well shaft on Kirin Island to protect George and Julian. Another time in the same book, he once got hurt on his cheek really badly and he didn't cry. Now lastly, about Timothy. Timothy is a dog. To be precise, a mongrel. He is very ferocious when it comes to the enemies and very protective of the famous five, especially George. Once you become his friend, he is super friendly.
Well, I felt that most of the characters in the book invoke a very strong emotion. In that perspective, what did you think of Uncle Quentin? I mean, he was brilliant, forgetful, hot-tempered scientist, but I don't really know what science he practiced. What did you think of him?
Uncle Quentin reminds me of my grandfather. They both don't like noise. One time, Julian pushed a table out of the way and it toppled by mistake. Uncle Quentin came flinging out of his room into the children's room. He is hot-tempered. He is good in his work. One time in another book, he found a way to replace coal and oil with some other resource to control pollution.
It is in this book that we are also introduced to Kirin Island and its remarkably well-preserved castle. What did you think about the description, and which portions did you like the best?
The early description of the castle is indeed very good, but many parts of the castle are not sturdy any longer. The one room on the ground floor is well preserved, but the stairs crumble when you go up. The castle leads to huge dungeons below the ground. I like the dungeons the best, as most adventure takes place in those dungeons. In this book, the famous five kept digging holes on ground to find an entry to those dungeons, and actually found an entry by fluke. They also discovered a room filled with gold.
Well, Anhad, we have been seeing you a lot at our book events. I hope that you've been enjoying our book events.
I quite enjoyed the few book reading sessions that I went to recently. We read portions of the book, and sessions are all about reading, and I love to read. Bookbibuli also gave me a chance to read books from new authors like C.S. Lewis, who wrote The Chronicles of Narnia, and E.B. White, who wrote The Charlotte's Web. My favorite writer, though, remains Enid Blyton.
I totally love this story. Tell me, if you could change this story, what changes would you bring about?
I wish no one got trapped in the dungeons. I wish the bad men had got trapped and didn't know how to get out of it. But I loved what happened next. George got on to their boat, which they used to travel to the island. She took an axe and broke down the boat of the bad men.
Well, George is my favorite character. She doesn't want to be a girl and play with dolls. She wants to have short hair, wear comfortable boys' clothes, and romp outside having adventures with her dog. So that was my favorite character. But who's your favorite character?
My favorite character is Julian. I like him because he is fair to everyone. He is smart and very observant. He spots maximum clues in any adventure compared with other children. And he also helps in solving mysteries well. He is also humorous, like I told you that George is hot-headed. One time, Julian told George when she was angry that I think we could light a fire from the sparks that fly from your eyes.
Thank you very much, Anhad, for being with us today. It has been a wonderful journey with you. Well, there we have Enid Blyton. Despite the fact that Blyton's books have enjoyed immense popularity and have been translated into numerous languages, they have recently faced some criticism over the years. And some readers have raised concerns about elements of her writing, such as portrayals of gender roles and lack of diversity. I personally felt, and I did not want to put forward this question to Anhad, him being 7, but I wanted to actually drive home the point that it is important to view Blyton's work in the context of the time they were written and acknowledge the progress made in children's literature since then. And I feel that despite the criticism, Enid Blyton's legacy remains strong, and her books continue to be cherished by millions of readers worldwide. Okay, and now it is time for Bookbibuli Read Record. The reading competency required for this book is 3. The genre is fiction, adventure, and mystery. Enid Blyton, I would say, was a fantastic author who wrote amazing stories. She's famous for her adventure and folklore books. Her stories are easy to understand and flow smoothly, making them perfect for readers of all ages. You can take your time reading her books, enjoying them at your own pace. They are the kind of stories that can be read in a few days with breaks in between. They are the kind of stories that can be read in a few days with breaks in between. Blyton's books take you on thrilling adventures filled with fascinating characters and magical settings, where you can join brave children as they solve mysteries and embark on incredible journeys. So if you're looking for an exciting and enchanting read, you must grab one of this book. It'll be a natural extension to a reading trajectory which already has Secret 7, I Find Outers, and Mallory Towers by Enid Blyton. Once you've read this, you are ready for Midnight for Charlie Bone by Jenny Nimmo. All the best and happy reading.